Like a couple Bitcoins. Pull up on my Nakamoto.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Blockchain Dynamics show.
Hello. Welcome.
It's Sunday.
Sunday again.
Sunday, December 25th.
Yep, we've had to push the show back a day, both weeks here, just because of some holiday stuff. That's just the way it is.
Yep, we did Christmas early this year, or my family did at least. So now I'm doing the show on Christmas.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Christmas magic here at Blockchain Dynamics.
Definitely.
Episode number 43. So that's cool.
Right. And as usual, the show is brought to you by Cryptopia. You can head on over there at cryptopia.co.nz.
Yeah, of course, don't forget to check out Cryptopia. They have an altcoin exchange, as well as a ton of other futures. They have this native cryptocurrency called DOTS. And what you can do is head over to their forums. Our home base is there in the altcoin section. Head on over to our Cryptopia thread. Stop by. Give us a suggestion. Tell us a coin you want us to talk about. Complain about something, or really do whatever you want. We'll throw you 2,500 dots.
Yep.
And then if you check out Paytopia on Cryptopia, you can see all of the different cool stuff that you can buy with the dots.
Yeah, we love getting interaction with people, so head on over there and say hi. And after that, go over to blockchaindynamics.net and fill out your nomination form for the Wolong Awards. This is going to be the last week of nominations here, so we'll be moving into the voting period after that.
Yeah, we've had some great suggestions, but it's never too late to get some fresh shitcoins in the mix. So please, by all means, hop in to the website, blockchaindynamics.net, check out the Wolong Awards, and make a nomination.
Yep.
Alrighty, so just going to get straight into the content here. We're going to start this week off with a second look at a old coin.
Right.
Called BelaCoin.
Yep. And it is now BelaCoin, I think.
Yep, they've changed it. So it came out, this is an old coin, came out in like 2014. Originally BelaCoin with 2 L's.
Yep.
So we're calling that BelaCoin.
Yeah.
Now it's a BelaCoin with 1 L.
So we're calling that BelaCoin.
Right. Yep.
Just to distinguish between them. The original BelaCoin was dedicated to the developer's daughter.
Yeah, it's got this funny. We dug up the original thread, of course. Here's the original tagline for the coin. BelaCoin is a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency which is based off of LiveCoin, which is inspired by my daughter Bella. Her favorites: unicorns and flowers. That's what you'll find on a BelaCoin.
Yep.
So that's the original premise for BelaCoin.
Yeah. And it did get on Polo in 2014.
Yeah, it was like an early Poloniex coin. It was made by the Neos developer, Two Turtles, and he kind of, I think he made Neos and BelaCoin kind of close in time to each other, and then he ended up taking some time off of the crypto game for personal reasons, and so I think BelaCoin kind of just got lost in the shuffle at that point. It was on Polo, like you said, but like Polo didn't have the volume or the interest back then, of course. And it had like I was checking out the market cap on it today. The market cap was as low as $100 on BelaCoin.
Wow. And that was when Bitcoin was worth like $500 too.
That low point was mostly like late 2014, early 2015. So that's when Bitcoin would have been worth like $200. But
gotcha.
At any rate, somebody must have liked that there was a Poloniex coin out there with such a low market cap, because eventually, somewhere around 2015, the coin kind of started to get revived by people. And then that, I guess, was the predecessor to this whole new rebranding thing that has happened.
Which they call BelaCoin, and which they say they're working on BelaCam, which is a photo sharing app with coin rewards.
So like Snapchat, I guess, would be the idea there, maybe.
Maybe, something like that. Obviously, that's a pretty popular concept. It's not something that personally interests me, but that's what they're working on, they say. And then they are running a contest, we noticed when we were looking up info about it today, where they're trying to find ideas from people who want to start a BelaCoin-related business, which which is a little bit vague, but they claim to be looking for 3 ideas and willing to throw $500 worth of Bitcoin at all 3 of them, with the stipulation that you spend that Bitcoin on the project, which I thought was an incredibly risky move from their perspective, because not only are you looking for the best idea, but people that might actually be able to execute it. However, that's going on.
So yeah, that's basically, that's the deal here. Just, it's really incredible to me to see a coin where it's sat idle for so long. Like, even if you go back to the start of 2016, like March 2016, it still has a market cap in like the $2,000 range. And then obviously now it's sitting at a price of 1,300 Satoshi and 346,000 market cap.
Wow, that is a huge increase.
So what's 100 to 3,600?
Man.
360,000. Hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're doing it up big time on BelaCoin. Huge Poloniex coin now. Not on the delistings this week, luckily for them.
Yeah. I'm sure they're happy about that. Not much else to say about it. It's a nice little second look. As far as like my own speculation would go on this coin, it just looks like it's gone up so much. I'd have to wait for it to sort of level out at some point to really get into it. I like their idea though.
Yeah, I just can't, I can't do it when something started as low. If something goes from 15 Satoshi to 1,500, I can't buy it, even if, part of me knows that maybe it could still go up, and a lot of times, that's arbitrary. Like, Bitcoin's the classic example of where, it was $2 and now it's, $900 this week or whatever. I think everyone wants to believe that that can kind of be the case with a lot of these alts, but I just have a hard time believing that BelaCoin would do.
And since it's not on Bittrex, can't throw the R bot on it. It is on Nova Exchange, but the volume there is 0 compared to Poloniex.
Yeah, I'm surprised that these other exchanges haven't added this one at this point.
Right.
But who knows? I would think that, if I was a smaller exchange, I would have all these Poloniex coins.
Especially maybe the delisting ones.
Especially the delisting ones. Who knows?
Anywho, moving onward.
We're going to jump into the news next. That was BelaCoin. Now we're doing news.
Probably at the top of the list of everybody's news this week is Bitcoin price hits $900.
Yep, it seems like that really dominated the news. It was like the people finally got the breakout moment they've been waiting for,
Yep. I hope it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone.
For a lot of people, that long wait. It hit an all-time high market cap.
Yeah, it's back in the news, which is cool. And we'll cover more of the Bitcoin spike when we get to the markets and stuff, but it's just we've been building up to this for so long. It's kind of funny to think now. It's okay, is it, at this point we don't know if we're just in the middle of it or if it's gonna level off now or dump soon.
Yeah. Which probably causes more speculation, which is probably not a bad thing for Bitcoin overall. Definitely you hear already stories of people buying Bitcoin that hadn't bought it previously for some reason, as they see it go up. Who knows how true all that is when you read them, but the whole cycle seems to be happening, and I think people are excited at the potential of the altcoin cycle sort of repeating itself in turn, as people try to hedge Bitcoin against altcoins to either just keep their portfolio level or maybe even try to increase their value.
Yeah, we always are interested in how the Bitcoin volatility affects altcoins, and now it's fun to see this happen because we're going to be able to actually make the comparisons. And like you said, I think the interesting thing is whether, when people get Bitcoin, new people come into the system, they're like, okay, I'm finally going to buy because I saw it in the news or whatever. They're like, then Bitcoin drops $100 and they're like, oh shit, I just lost $100. How am I going to get it back? And that's when it seems like people turn to altcoins. But I think it's also just once you have Bitcoin, it's the easiest thing to do, right? It's the barrier to entry of getting Bitcoin is kind of relatively high. If you're coming from just, regular fiat or whatever.
Right.
The barrier of entry of going from Bitcoin into altcoin trading is very low.
True.
And so I think it's really easy for people to get caught up, especially anybody who's remotely interested in the trading angle. And then it's just, into the meat grinder.
Pretty sweet. It'll be fun to see how it all plays out related to that and what effect the price rise actually causes. Or just what comes after it. We can't always assume that it was actually caused by it, I guess, huh?
Yep, who knows?
Next piece of news. Coinigy is working on creating an altcoin exchange.
Yeah, this is cool. If you check out, they've got this 2017 roadmap video you can check out. Coinigy, for people who don't know, it's like an altcoin services, kind of a charting and trading tool website where they have a ton of exchange APIs integrated. And they will just, they kind of have a unified chart system for all the different exchanges and a ton of different coins and all that kind of fun stuff. And so now they have announced that they are working on an actual altcoin exchange of their own.
Yeah. I had never actually used their stuff before, so I had to create an account to log in and check it out today. And it was pretty cool to see the way that you could sort of look at many exchanges at the same time, and their charts are honestly look pretty nice and a bunch of nice stuff there. It'll be cool to see them come out with another exchange, if for no other reason, to create more sort of competition in that space, and hopefully they can do well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think we're all eager to have some more kind of top-tier competitors in the space. Everything is like it's become so Poloniex-centric that everyone's kind of getting frustrated, I think, with how much control they can exert on the market at this point. And so...
Right, which we saw with
the delisting.
The delisting, yeah.
As far as this new exchange itself, the details are they are saying it is going to be, quote, simple and robust.
Right.
So they're going for a essentially mobile first was what they characterized it as.
Yep.
So they obviously want something to be easy to use, but also obviously they still want to have a high quality matching engine and that kind of fundamental core stuff. As far as the matching engine itself, it's based on Cryptomic,
which we learned must have been changed to that Atomic exchange at some point.
Yeah, there was a website called Atomic Trade that I remember using like a year ago, maybe a little more. And it was a pretty nice little exchange. They never got volume, but my experiences with it were positive. I don't remember what coins I traded on there, but it was a handful.
Yeah.
And it was fine. I remember it kind of had it was an early exchange to have like all the open WebSocket stuff where it like, beeps on your trades and drops all kinds of info at you when you're trading.
They also made a point of all their API integration, which really lends well towards people making bots, which leads towards really high intensity trading. So that could be cool, like we were saying. Yeah,
it's a good I think it's a good approach because you have kind of the simple mobile friendly layout that anybody could access for that kind of tier for people who want that level of access. And then more advanced traders are going to be typically using API interfaces like Coinigy's, like what they already do for these other exchanges, right? You're going to be able to do that on their exchange. And so I think that's kind of the idea there is if people want to use the website, they can, and you'll have a simple and functional interface to do that. And then if they want more advanced options, they can go through the API system.
Cool.
Let's see. They said it's going to come out in beta mode Q3 2017. So quite a ways off, I guess, still.
Yeah. Guess we'll keep an eye out for it.
Man, 9 months in altcoin world, dude, that's like, it could be a whole nother universe by then. Bitcoin, $100. Or 5,000, who the hell knows?
Right. Up next in the news, the Poloniex Delistings.
Yeah, this is had to get into the news this week. Poloniex were kind enough to drop a bomb on everybody with this kind of random list of delisting coins. Like, you really got to wonder how they picked these.
Right.
The full list here: MMNXT, BitCNY, NBT, DM, LTBC, RedCoin, StealthCoin, Kryptonite, DigitalNote, Sync, CGA, Geo, BlockNet, and OneCredit.
Wow. Some of those have been like our random coins occasionally. We've seen some of them have birthdays even.
Yeah, we've talked about a ton of these coins, and the one thing that holds true, if you look at them, is that they've all pretty much plummeted in value since the news.
Right.
Which is, I guess, not surprising, but it's just like unfortunate because you have to wonder, Like, how did some of these coins get on the list? Like, I don't think they were all super low volume. One credit was just like in the middle of a pump. I don't know.
Weird.
I guess I don't really have any love for one credit, but I definitely was holding a couple of the coins that are on the list and was not thrilled about the news.
Yeah, and unless you sold them immediately, you're looking at massive losses. We did notice that Nubit managed to hold its peg
Yeah, Nubit is a
throughout it
USD.
all.
It's a USD peg cryptocurrency, so its value is just always supposed to equal $1, and it still does. So they've managed to at least keep that going despite the delisting.
Despite the delisting and the craziness with Bitcoin's price.
And another coin here in the list, BitCNY. I don't know a thing about it. It's just called BitCNY, but it's up 24% this week. It's the only coin on the list that didn't tank besides Nubit, which is funny. But we decided to crunch the numbers and see like exactly how much these coins went down. So we went through and looked at kind of the 1 week change for all of the delisted coins. Overall, we found there was 14 coins. The average decline was 48.85%. So pretty much chopped in half in value on the typical delisting coin.
Right. And came out to a $1.75 million lost value.
Yeah, so the total market cap decline on those coins was $1.75 million. So pretty incredible kind of display of force there from Poloniex, and just shows how powerful they are on the market, I think.
Some of these coins won't be listed anywhere after this.
Yeah, how does that... I mean, like going back to what we said earlier, I can't believe that a lot of these coins are already only on Poloniex. Maybe the chains just like are in terrible condition or something.
Maybe.
But I would expect... I'd like to see like Diem. Diem would be great for a market like Cryptopia, which has Litecoin pairs, or...
Yeah.
Geo's already on Bittrex. I don't know where Sync is. I think BlockNet is on TRX. So a lot of these do have... are still going to be on, if nothing else, Bittrex. But I would think anything that's not going to be listed, somebody's going to pick it up.
And we'll see about that. Moving right along, we're going to look at some market information.
Yeah, just looking at the overall markets this week. Aside from the huge Bitcoin pump, just kind of blowing everybody's mind. I think there was some cool news out of Finex. They're doing margin trading on Zcash now.
Interesting.
So if your dreams of shorting Zcash can finally come true. Polo doesn't have margin on it yet, do they?
I don't know. I've never margin traded.
Yeah, I have not. I've margin traded Bitcoin, but never alts. I guess I got to get into it. I don't know.
It sounds tempting, but I've never, like, I assume that if I ever noticed an opportunity that it was clear to me to do it, I would, but it hasn't occurred to me yet.
The thing about margin trading, like, if you don't have like all day to watch that order, you kind of have screwed yourself, because it's tough to... You can set a stop loss and just kind of pray that it doesn't hit, but typically in order to trade the most effectively on a margin trade, at least, you're probably going to want to be watching the market. And then it gets to the point like, is it really worth it to spend that much of your time on one trade, or can you try and find some better ways to approach the market? But that said, I mean, it seems like most of the best traders use margin at one point or another, and it's really just a matter of learning how to use it effectively, I think.
Yeah, well said.
But yeah, now Zcash, you can trade at margin on Finex, so go nuts, people. Start shorting away. As far as the overall Bitcoin market this week, up 12.7%. It was at 889 as of this show. So that's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Peaked at $920 on Finex and Bitstamp, and $900 on BTCE. So they stubbornly... Always
with that
$20
lower price.
Yeah, I'm always amazed. It's got to be, like, since we first started trading, I feel like BTCE has been like $20 lower. It's funny.
Yeah.
During the Gox thing, they were like $200 lower.
Wow.
Which makes a lot of sense because, those Gox trades were obviously really fake. But
also, we saw Ethereum down 8.4% versus the US dollar, and down 18.7% versus Bitcoin.
Yeah, ETH is just getting killed, man. It's like
Still just down, down, down.
Yep, everyone's wondering where does it stop. As far as altcoins overall, they lost about 110,000 bitcoins in value compared to Bitcoin. That's down 8%.
Okay.
But if you actually look at the altcoin market caps, compare it to US dollar because of the Bitcoin spike this week, if you include ETH, they're down about 1% because ETH was just tanking. But if you don't include ETH in the top altcoins, then they were up overall about 3.5%.
Okay.
Or about $40 million.
Interesting.
So yeah, way down compared to Bitcoin. Obviously, once again, we're seeing that when Bitcoin is spiking, you're best off just holding only Bitcoin, probably, it seems like. But for the first, not the first time, but we're kind of starting to see that as Bitcoin is spiking, we're seeing altcoin market caps get dragged up overall instead of just getting like completely toasted. Whereas for the past couple months, every time Bitcoin would go up, it's like altcoins would drop, they'd lose market cap, and they would lose relative to Bitcoin. And now we've seen the turnaround there. So they're still getting killed relative to Bitcoin, but they're starting to be dragged up a little bit, which tells me that potentially kind of the next pump cycle of alts might start soon, hopefully.
Yeah. I definitely think there's a point, like I sort of, from the general Twitter feed reading that I do and whatnot, I get a sense that people are expecting or hoping for, maybe is a better term, this repeat of that alt cycle.
Right.
And it's hard to tell this week whether it's just that the altcoin markets are sort of being slower to dump right now because that was such a violent uptrend in Bitcoin. We don't know if it's going to hold.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic in the long run as usual, but I could see alts going down pretty hard if Bitcoin continues to rise.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that some of these, like, as the markets have progressed and matured a little bit from where they were a few years ago, some of these, like, trading rules have become a lot more axiomatic. Like, if you're a trader that survived 2013 to 2016, this rule of, Bitcoin pumps, altcoin dumps, you've seen it a dozen times at this point. So it's like, it's become like a self-fulfilling prophecy where, a lot of the people are kind of expecting the same patterns, and that kind of causes them to happen. And I think we're seeing the start of it this week with altcoin market caps at least starting to rebound a little bit. And just that people are, Bitcoin is spiked. It could potentially be close to a top. And so people are looking for altcoins to buy.
Right.
And once we see that first kind of huge death candle on Bitcoin that tells people that this leg of the uptrend is over, I think you're going to start to see a huge amount of people kind of rushing back into altcoins, just based on the expectations game where everybody says it's going to happen, so it does happen, and then it's kind of like a weird game theory thing, where...
Well, and also it seems like, obviously this didn't happen for everyone, but during the decline of the Bitcoin price, altcoins could have been a good spot for your Bitcoin to be if you put them in the right spots at the right times, right?
Right, yeah, there's this idea of using altcoins as a hedge against Bitcoin when it's pumping, because at some point there is going to be that huge death candle where, Bitcoin drops $100 in an hour or whatever. And I think potentially having your Bitcoin in alts when that goes down could be advantageous. But I think trying to time that kind of thing is too risky. But you will still see people using alts in various ways, I think, to try to hedge Bitcoin price.
Sure.
Because it's so easy. It's the easiest thing you can do with Bitcoin once you have it is to put it into altcoin markets. And so it's going to happen. You are going to see increased activity kind of regardless based on this.
I understand, yeah. As far as the big gainers this week, we saw GoldBlocks up 76%, BBQCoin up 43%, PotCoin up 40%, And NameCoin up 29%.
Yeah, coolest there. I think NameCoin's cool to see climbing. Just old school. Love it when the old school coins kind of bounce with Bitcoin.
Yep, looking good. PotCoin, of course, would have been hard one to hold. It's just up so much.
Yeah, seriously.
BBQCoin, only trading on BTCE, I think. So
BBQCoin?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Used to be on Cryptsy, obviously. GoldBlocks, don't know much, but it was looking like it's been up for quite a while now.
It came out this year. It's an X11 gold-backed theme currency. I think it's one of the more legit ones, but again, I have to wonder, is it like... I certainly have never tried to trade any gold blocks for gold, so I don't know.
Then on the other side of the fence, we're looking at Cryptographic Anomaly down 84%, SwingCoin down 69%, StealthCoin down 60%, and DigitalNote down 57%.
Those are all Polo delisting coins, so...
That is just a steep, steep loss.
That is rough. 84% for Cryptographic Anomaly.
It's basically a whole new market.
I remember when that coin came out, we tried to mine it. It was not easy.
Right. It was an interesting one, though, just because it was so unique at the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Just an attempt at some sort of creativity. Up next, we're going to have our RandomCoin Spotlight.
Random.
It's where we just sort of roll a number and take a look at the coin on CoinMarketCap.
Yep, that's exactly how it goes down. The first coin we rolled is RubyCoin.
RubyCoin.
So this thing came out first in February of 2014.
Yep.
It was created by, as I recall, the guy who had Dedicated Pool, that big mining pool.
Okay.
I believe RubyCoin was his coin. It was like, I can't remember his name, Binary something.
I can't remember right now either.
But he created RubyCoin. Dedicated Pool was like the biggest pool at the time. It was bigger than Supernova or any of the other ones. And they made RubyCoin. It came out the same day as BlackCoin.
Oh, I remember. On IRC, his name was Cassido.
Oh, you're right. You know, I think I have my people totally mixed up. I don't think Cassido was the Dedicated Pool guy.
But he was the RubyCoin dev.
Right. I think I've got my facts totally wrong here. Cassido, RubyCoin dev. Maybe he was just associated with those guys. I don't know. I don't remember that.
When I look at the archived version of the RubyCoin thread, I see just so many mining pools. You see Dedicated Pool, Such Pool, United Miners, BitEmber. So it was really a good time for mining. We were really new to the whole thing. And I remember trying to mine RubyCoin with my solo wallet for a while.
RubyCoin was funny because it had a slow start for mining. Or it was like the initial first 1,000 blocks were only 1/10 or the reward or something. And people definitely were not like prepared to deal with it. So it did the same thing Zcash did. Like everybody piled onto it right at the launch. And then it was trading for like 50,000 Satoshi on, I think, Crypto Rush and some of those really kind of crappy older exchanges. And then once the block reward kicked on fully, all those people got wiped out essentially. It just dumped.
But in general, it did follow the old school reducing block reward over the first 5 months, reducing all the way from 500 to 50. So a lot of coins mined up front, a lot of coins traded. Like I said, I was really new to everything at that point, so I traded them for a profit and kind of couldn't look back. But come along altcoin season of another year, and RubyCoin, does another 10x.
Yeah, it had to be swapped shortly after getting launched because all of the, like you said, it had that kind of decreasing rewards. And all those kind of POW script change started getting various exploits used against them. And a lot of them ended up swapping over to proof of stake around like late 2014, early 2015 time. RubyCoin was one of them.
That's right.
And then that kind of preceded them kind of building up to the pump, like you said.
Correct. They've also always been working on this trading platform that looks like they claim it's in beta right now, but there's no access for the public, so you have to take their word for it.
Yeah, cool.
However, that'd be interesting to ever see a coin with access to a really nice trading bot.
Yeah, there's a lot of coins that have tried to do the trading bot thing. I think it's cool. Like, it's a cool feature to offer people if you're just a coin developer and it's like that's what you're doing. So you're kind of giving people access to some code that you're working on anyway. But as far as like an actual ideal platform to run a trading bot, I can't. A blockchain's not great because, the exchanges and stuff, things are changing constantly, and you have to be, a trading bot something that's going to have pretty much constant updates to it.
Right.
And if those updates depend on a blockchain to adopt them, that's just kind of unusual.
Sure, I hear what you're saying.
So what it always ends up being is it's just some program that's tied to the ownership of a coin, and the bot itself ends up being kind of this off-chain thing that runs on binaries or whatever, and it's like getting pretty far from the spirit of crypto stuff.
I understand what you mean, but it's also a way for a developer to sell their software in an interesting way where people are actually almost like speculating on the price of the software while purchasing it, because the price of the software can go up with the reduction of the supply of RubyCoins brought about by people buying the software. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Except the software itself has to actually become useful and popular.
I guess that's a cool way to look at it. It's just a different way of putting your product in the market.
What I don't like about it is that if that is true, then it leads to a point where the software isn't actually affordable, and only the people that have it, and then anyone else that buys it is getting essentially the short end of the stick. But it's a cool idea, and over the long run, this would have been a really great coin to hold.
It's true.
And now I've always looked for a re-entry point and just not found it. The price is just too high for me, unfortunately.
Alrighty, that was RubyCoin. Our next on our list here, random coins, is SwingCoin.
Nice, SwingCoin.
SwingCoin, this is cool, man. This coin's been you've been seeing it on the charts lately. It's on T-Rex, I think. Still, it's on Yobit. Just blowing up. It's one of those coins that seems like it's just always going up.
It's on Cryptopia too.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, and it started off as GreedCoin.
Yeah, I got into GreedCoin. I got into Greed Evolved. I think I've talked about it on here before. But
right.
He came up with this really funny reward scheme where the proof of stake rate fluctuates wildly. So it'll have like no proof of stake rate for a bunch of blocks, and then this huge proof of stake section, and then it'll drop back down and spike up and down.
Right, and then the sections where the proof of stake is low, the proof of work is high.
Yep.
And so it's a fluctuation between those two, and he's trying to create sort of a competitive environment, or an experimental one at least.
Yeah, and it worked out well for me with Greed. I remember, like, people didn't really get how the DPoS worked. And so I was able to get, like, a ton of the early high reward blocks, and I went from, like, 5% of the Greed chain to 45%. I sold them all on Yobit, of course, but eventually he turned it into Greed Evolved, and then turned it into SwingCoin. And now he kind of fixed it with SwingCoin, where he doesn't have to do these constant hard forks like he used to. It just has it started out with a small supply, and then it just has that constantly fluctuating stake rate, so you can still game the staking periods. But in the previous coins, the supply would just get out of control and drive them below 1 Satoshi. And obviously that hasn't happened with SwingCoin yet because the price is like way up.
Nice. Interesting one.
So yeah, who knows? It's a cool one.
I like that it's my kind of coin in a certain way because it doesn't have the pretense of trying to solve any specific problem with Bitcoin.
Right.
But it is like a market experimentation.
Yeah,
And
I'm
totally fascinated by that type of stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, as far as, we love it when coins are, I guess, honest about their intentions in some way. And this is just one of the most straight up coins that's out there. It's just a guy who made a coin to kind of experiment with how blockchains react to these crazy parameters. And it's been cool. It's been fun to watch.
Market-wise, I'm feeling similar to, like I was saying with the last coin, RubyCoin. It just sort of looks like it has been pumped or is in the middle of this type of rise. And it's so hard for me to find a spot to get into these. I mostly just ignore them until they've been flat for a while.
For
better or worse. For my own better or worse.
the funny thing about a coin like this is the way that it should work, and the way that it did work with Greed and Greed Evolved is that you had to have your coin staking, and you had to be at your computer at the right time to unlock your wallet to catch the staking rounds. And if you didn't do that, you essentially would get completely diluted out of the supply. And now what's interesting is that's what I would have expected to happen with Swing, but he's toned down the parameters enough where it's not even the case. He's essentially been able to create a market dynamic where you could follow through with the staking and get an edge, but the market on its own legs has been successful enough that you also could have just held your coins on the exchange and not even had to worry about it.
Interesting.
And so that's kind of, I think he learned from Greed and Greed Evolved in terms of tuning the parameters and how he could make this kind of goofy idea work in the long term. And so far, it's been doing really well. So I have a lot of respect for SwingCoin.
Cool. Some interesting random coins. I'm excited to see how 2017 plays out, and if any of these coins can just sort of level out for long enough that I feel even confident trying to get into them, or if it's just they're going to keep being so volatile that I will just chicken out.
Well, remember like 2014, it was like all about new coins. There was so much money in new coins, it was crazy. And then when things kind of cooled off with the Bitcoin price in like early 2015, remember when everything started to kind of turn around? It was all of these old coins that led the charge. Like Vertcoin comes to mind, but it was just like a bunch of old coins were pumping, and new coins still didn't really rebound very much. And then I think that we're going to see a similar dynamic now, where today new coins are basically probably as low or kind of as crappy as they've ever been. And so when this next wave of interest comes into the altcoin game, it's got to be the old coins that pump.
That makes sense.
So is it going to be, there's going to be a handful of new coins in there, but the majority of the coins that I think catch pumps are going to be older coins. And it'll be interesting to see, is it going to be the 2014 coins, the 2013 coins, the 2015 coins?
Sure.
Which ones are going to catch the interest, I guess will be cool to see.
Yeah, it will be. I like that concept. For me, as far, I want to always be, the idea is to buy the coins when they're low and sell them when they're high, right?
That's the theory, yes.
Yeah. But it's really hard to do when you look at some coins and they're already up, and then you look at other coins and they've been going down forever.
Yeah, and I think that's like, that's kind of one of the classic fallacies, I think, and one that I'm particularly vulnerable to is like feeling like if this coin's already gone up, I can't buy into it, right? If that were the case, I never could have really bought into Bitcoin to begin with because we came in after it was already, fully pumped.
Right.
So you just have to, that's why kind of I like looking for kind of different approaches that don't necessarily rely on just speculating on the price, like whether that's doing mining with new coins or trying to do, get ahead with algorithmic trading or whatever you do. It's, I've always kind of looked for like weird niches in the market where I could kind of effectively get an advantage like that versus just trying to be like, I think Bitcoin's going to go up today.
Yeah. Because then you're really just, trying to maybe get lucky unless you're the person that's going to raise the price.
Yeah, well, it's just something that you have to study. You have to put your time into it. And if you put enough time into it, you will be able to gain the knowledge to probably get some money out of it. And it's just a question of where can you most effectively spend your time. And I kind of, I love altcoins. I love these goofy little markets. That's kind of what's fun for me. So I guess that's kind of how I've geared my strategy in some ways.
Sure. Cool. Up next is going to be the new coins of the week.
All right, new coins. Love them new coins. Usually.
Yes, usually. We're going to look at the proof of work, proof of stake coins.
First up this week is BullshitCoin.
Amazing that this one got launched. This was a sort of a jokey pre-announcement last week.
Yeah, it's like a parody of other coins type coin where they're just kind of making fun of the altcoin game. But they went ahead and launched it. The thing about a good parody coin can actually be a good coin if they if they do it right, just doing a classic no pre-mine, no bullshit coin. And that's fun. We can have fun with that. With BullshitCoin, they went for the 20% pre-mine.
Right.
So they're kind of just directly copied the shitcoins that they're supposed to be making fun of. And then it's already at 0 Satoshi on Coin Exchange, so not a good look.
Yeah. It's definitely either just like a joke that's gone too far or
not far enough.
Or not far enough yet. It's hard to say. It's no rip-off coin.
Nope, it'll never be one of the great troll parody coins.
We'll see.
Next is BuyCoin.
BuyCoin, another 20% pre-mine on this one.
Yep, just an SHA high pre-mine.
Looking like a wallet builder's most likely.
Yep. Next, this one's a little unusual. SuicideCoin.
SuicideCoin. This is just so edgy.
A little dark here. Don't like it. Only a 1% pre-mine, which still counts for about 10,000 blocks, which is,
Yeah.
not great, but low by today's standards. But
low by today's standards is right. It was funny when we were looking at the RubyCoin announcement. He had a 2% pre-mine, and people were flipping out in that thread.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Like what he said, RubyCoin had a 2% pre-mine, and like back then that was considered like a huge offense.
Mm-hmm. The way that the posts look after that, you would think that there's no way it was going to work out.
But then on the other side, it did fine. RubyCoin held the test of time. Obviously, as we mentioned earlier.
Well, and that's what's so crazy about like the fact that when I look back at my younger trading self, and I sold those coins for what I wanted at the time because I didn't have really anything at the time, and I wanted to trade. So I got the Ruby coins for what are essentially free mining. And at any point during that RubyCoin thing till today, from then, I could have essentially mined or staked that coin for a profit up, until the top where the pump was. I just find that fascinating because of, during that period, there were so many doubtful moments, even up till when I sold my coins for like whatever measly profit I did.
Yeah. My biggest problem with these coins, and going back to RubyCoin, like RubyCoin had the 2% pre-mine, but they followed through on the coin, right? They stuck out the coin. They did everything they had to do for years and years. And, it became like a legitimate project, essentially. And so it wasn't the pre-mine that defines it. And when we look at a lot of these new coins, we define them by the pre-mine. But the problem isn't really the pre-mine. The problem with these coins is that they just kind of are terrible. And so if somebody came out with a 1% pre-mine coin and it wasn't terrible, I think that it would be a lot easier to get behind. But instead we see just kind of crappy coins, and then they have a 20% pre-mine, and you're like, well, this is just, you can't even, not even worth bothering, I guess.
Yeah. This one doesn't look great. Once again, like you said, we're talking about SuicideCoin, and it's sort of just a joke. They are running a contest that also kind of looks like a joke, but they're trying to have somebody help out with their white paper, and they want to make like some sort of thing that's how can you prove that a blockchain has committed suicide? So for any creative writers out there, maybe there's something there.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to be provocative with this.
Yeah. Oh well. Little did he know we take every coin literally.
Completely at face value.
Yeah.
Yep, that's SuicideCoin. Next up is Crypto World X token.
Crypto World X.
This is in the wrong category. This should be an ICO.
Yeah, it should be.
This coin's funny because it's an ICO, but they're calling it donations. So you donate to the coin and then you get coins in return. But otherwise, it's just a crappy ICO.
Yeah. It's funny. They don't even describe the rates at which you would get the coins. They simply call them donations and then describe about 6 or 7 currencies they'll accept. Which
means they don't actually have a mechanism for distributing the coin, but
no obligation to distribute them at any given rate.
There probably isn't even a blockchain.
They did. I thought they had a wallet.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay.
NameCoin.
NameCoin is up next. This coin had a 38-page white paper. Was this an ICO too?
Looks like it.
Yep, this is an ICO. Yeah. We have kind of been trying to avoid talking about the ICOs because they're lame lately, but NameCoin is one of them. It's got a really long white paper. If you want to read it, you can. It's just kind of confusing, though. Next on the list of coins here is Future Digital Currency. And this coin just has ridiculous specs. Pre-mine 1 billion. Coin supply 5 billion.
Yeah. I mean, this is the type of thing where they're either missing commas or all sorts of things. Just not a lot of effort. And
The block halving rate is every 41 million blocks, so that works out to about 130 years. That's funny.
130 years for the block halving.
130 years.
Nice, dude. That'll be a fun day.
Yep. So, yeah, future digital currency, not looking good.
Moving into the relaunch, re-announcements, pre-announcement category, we have Xmine.
Xmine, this is like a relaunch. I don't really know what the history of this coin is. I don't remember when it came out.
They're calling it MineCoin.
They're calling it MineCoin. 100% proof of work coin.
Looks like it's at 1 Satoshi on Yobit.
And yep, it's a Yobit 1 Satoshi coin, even though the supply is only like 50 million, so that's not a good sign.
Interesting, yeah. I wonder what's going on there.
Ultra low market cap coin, just relaunching, trying to get some new attention.
But not a lot of info either.
Nope.
The next one is MMXVI.
This is a takeover of a Yobit coin. This coin started out as one of the many gaming theme shit coins. They're alleging that you're going to be able to buy ships in Star Citizen with it, I guess.
Okay.
Unlike most of the Yobit coins, it has a price above 1 Satoshi. But I don't think there's anything there besides the vaporware. Somebody's trying to take over the chain now, so
interesting.
That usually tells you pretty much what you need to know.
I mean, the name rings a bell, but I've never traded this coin. Not really familiar with it. I don't like it when people steal graphics and then just put their words on top of it.
It's not a good sign.
All right. Then on the ICO list, we had Vital Air.
This is a funny thread. It's really bad ICO, obviously, but the premise is funny. They're going to be selling air. Clean air.
Right through the blockchain?
I guess.
All right. There's also Fantasy Bit.
Yep.
There's Z-Block. There's Lizzie. There's that Crypto World X token one we mentioned, and also MainCoin we mentioned.
Yep, so just the usual batch of people posting Bitcoin addresses and trying to get people to send them money.
Exactly.
Looking back at the new coins this week, honestly, nothing to be excited about. I feel like there's going to be some good coins coming out in the new year, but I got a good feeling, but we're clearly not there yet.
Right. Well, how will we even know? Will it just be a lot of them all at once? Or there'll be one good one, and then that'll make 10 bad ones and 2 good ones come out, which will make...
I think it's been like literally a month at this point since we've even seen a proof of work coin without a pre-mine launch. So I feel like at this point, they're going to stand out. Like,
yeah.
Anything that has development behind it, anything that actually has like an active human is going to stand out from what we've been seeing. And then from there, you'll have to try and, make a judgment call like you always do.
Mm-hmm. Looking back through the posts this week, though, nothing really standing out too much here. As I always say every week, if they didn't have the pre-mines, then some of these would be fine with the proof of work ones.
But the problem is these coins still suck even if they didn't have pre-mines. Like there still wouldn't be any long-term prospects for them.
Yeah. Then with the ICOs, nothing too special. That MainCoin one with the huge white paper actually has some pretty well put together info, but I'm just so tired of coins that have everything going, it's a whole crypto platform as usual.
Yeah, it's just a buzzword bingo type thing,
Yeah.
Got to check all the boxes or whatever.
I'm much more interested in software that's already been developed at this point for some reason.
Yeah, I agree.
But hopefully we hear about those types of things again. Moving right along into the coin listings. Our good buddies over at Cryptopia listed Fame.
Fame coin.
Poloniex, along with their delisting notice, decided to throw on Nexium and also Stratis.
Yeah, Poloniex once again confusing everybody with their delistings and then confusing everybody with the listings.
Right.
I think Stratis was obvious.
Stratis makes sense.
Yeah, that's like what you would expect. Nexium, I don't know.
Yeah,
How do they pick these?
Yeah, who knows what
we
goes on.
We were looking when we last looked at Nexium. We had a hard time even telling if the coin was still like alive and going.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's on Poloniex. That's like, I think there were potentially some better candidates in my opinion.
Yeah, who knows? And then over on Bittrex, they listed the IOP.
Now that's a cool listing. I gotta give props to Bittrex on that one. I don't know everything about IOP, but it's that Fairmat project we had the host on
Right.
A few months ago. Not the host. We had the person behind Fairmat on the show a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And he was really cool to talk to. I've kind of been trying to keep an eye on it ever since. I still don't fully understand how it works, but it's just Fairmat. It's more like the kind of coin that I like. You know, he's releasing this project with no IPO, no pre-mine that I'm aware of, and if there is a pre-mine, it's still, you know, they're backing it up with something new, and so that's what I like to see, I guess.
Sure. C-Cex listed GoldBlocks.
They did.
And LiveCoin listed SIB, Vault, UNCoin, and Circuits of Value. Circuits of Value just comes up every once in a while. It's so funny.
That's the Ribbit Rewards rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
Funny.
There it is. Looking back through the listings this week, it's great to see Poloniex listing anything, even if we don't fully understand their reasons.
That's true. I like the Bittrex listing.
Bittrex listing, good. Cryptopia, always happy to see them listing, but nothing that I was like really waiting to trade. So
yeah, I agree.
Coin birthdays up next.
Yeah, we're gonna close it out with the birthdays as per usual. First up here, we got a 1-year birthday on a coin called Evergreen Coin.
Evergreen Coin. That ring a bell at all, Brando?
Nope, not even a little bit.
Really?
No, what's that all about?
I don't really know much about it. It doesn't ring a huge bell for me either, although I do remember it. You'll find that it's listed across Bittrex, C-Cex, Yobit, and Cryptopia, so that's a good spread.
Whatever it is, it looks like it pumped in August. Otherwise, it's just been really low for its whole life.
Doesn't have a low market cap, though.
Yeah, 200,000 market cap. Weird.
So,
all right.
It's out there. Happy 1-year birthday.
Happy birthday,
Maybe
Evergreen.
we'll take a second look at it someday. Who knows? Up next on the 2-year is Vcash, which was VanillaCoin at the time. That was launched on 12/23/2014.
That's kind of surprising. Mind-blowing. I thought Vcash came out like in the spring at some point.
Nope.
Obviously not, but
no. Came out right then, and learned a lot from that one. That one was like a crypto education. I feel like I was naive for a long time with that, and now I'm not.
Yeah, but even the worst case is that you know, everything we all got everything we got out of Vcash just from mining. Like with CPU, you know, we spent nothing on it.
True. No, so it was a good learning experience, and it's still an ongoing coin, although it's a little bit struggling right now. Happy 2-year anniversary to Vcash chain.
3-year birthdays, FedoraCoin, 12/22/2013.
FedoraCoin. That one was like an old coin by the time we made it in.
It was one of the first super high quantity coins, I think, where there's just so many coins that it trades for, you know, close to what the 1 Satoshi or even less kind of mark.
And it hasn't been doing great. I think it was on our lists for losses not long ago.
It's only on B tier right now, I think.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And I think it's traded against LiveCoin mainly.
Oh,
So
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally fine. It's sitting still at about 1 million market cap. So.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that's unexpected.
And then
happy 3-year anniversary or 3-year birthday to Fedora.
Yep.
And finally, the last birthday, last but not least, SolarCoin, also 3 years old, December 21st, 2013.
Yeah, we had mentioned SolarCoin recently. They're cool project. Allegedly, you can like send them your bill, your electricity bill, showing you've generated solar power, and you'll get SolarCoin. I would love to know if people are actually following through on that, but
yeah, free SolarCoin. Heck yeah! If I was in that position, I'd be doing it. You know me. Happy birthday, SolarCoin.
Happy birthday, SolarCoin. Alrighty, I think that's going to wrap it up for Christmas here at the Chain Dynamics show.
Yeah, another great week in crypto. I feel excited to see what's going to happen. I guess I'm excited. Yep.
Yeah, we're still in that waiting phase for altcoins, waiting for the bounce back with this all this Bitcoin madness, but I believe it will come.
As usual, we are brought to you by Cryptopia.co.nz.
Check them out, www.cryptopia.co.nz. Really a cool exchange. They have a lot of really cool futures. Their volume has been on a pretty significant uptrend lately, so that's always a great sign. They're home to a lot of interesting old coins that are, kind of got lost in the shuffle, like when Cryptsy went away. Just really cool, cool little exchange, tons of different futures. Would strongly recommend stopping by. And as always, head by our thread there in the altcoin section. Drop us a line, and we will send you some dots.
That's right. And after you do that, go to blockchaindynamics.net, go to the Wollong Awards, fill something out. This has been Blockchain Dynamics, episode number 43. We'd like to tell you that our theme song is from Grammatic.
Yeah,
You're
check 'em out.
listening to Error by Trial Radio, and we'll see you next week with Heavier Bags.
Peace.
Currency. Like a couple Bitcoins. Money, pull up on my Nakamoto.